Hello friends, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how I journal and what has worked for me. If you're feeling a little intimidated or unsure where to start with your journaling, then this is the video for you. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt too. I'm just sharing my thoughts and opinions on what journaling is to me. So I really struggled at the start of my journaling journey, as I'd seen a lot of videos on YouTube and read up on different types and styles of journaling and felt quite discouraged because there were so many rules, and I felt like the type of journaling I wanted to do fit into a lot of different categories such as reading journals, bullet journals, memory keeping, scrapbooking and commonplace journaling, and I felt as if I needed a separate journal for each one, and I never kept up with any of it, and it left me feeling quite disappointed with myself until I decided to create a journal for everything. I'm a big believer that journaling should inspire and give everyone the opportunity to find their own style and what works for them. When there's too many rules, it can put people off joining the hobby. So this video is officially named how to start a commonplace journal because that's the closest category, if you like, that it fits into, but I like to call it my everything journal. So I'm going to be talking you through what a more traditional commonplace journal is and how I use a lot of those same things in mine, just with a twist. So traditionally, a commonplace journal is a journal for mostly writing, such as reflecting on literature, brain dumps on the go, reflecting on your own thoughts, reflections on music and media, or writing down information. Now, I do these things in my journal. I reflect to literature in my reading spread. I do spreads about albums I love. When my brain hurts, I do reflections and get my thoughts and ideas down. So I would argue that I do a lot of commonplace journaling, but also with memory keeping, and I do it in a style that is quite decorative. So I've had people tell me that my style is creative journaling and not commonplace, but how is a commonplace journal not creative journaling also? Reflecting on things you've observed in the world and writing down those thoughts is still being creative in my opinion, so I guess it's just whatever creativity is to you. So many years ago, I used to write in a diary every single day for 5 years because I didn't want to forget anything, and I felt it was important as a little brain dump before bed. I then stopped and began photographing everything. I studied photography at university and did everything on film. So I have boxes and boxes of photographs in my house. I really didn't want to forget anything in my life, so I was determined to document it all. I think my journaling style now is a product of those two things. I like to create physical art, document my life, and reflect on things I see or read. In the past, I've tried different journals and haven't kept up with them, or gave up pretty quickly as I felt like I could only include certain things in them. I began a nature journal, and that didn't last because I gave myself rules on what could go in there. So for me, rules do not help me. They stop me from wanting to use and put things in my journal. Rules might help other people to stay on track, and I know a lot of others like having separate journals for everything, as that's what inspires and works for them. So it is important to find what's right for you, and I'm sharing my way of doing things with the hope you will find the style for you. So I thought the best way to do this is to do some journaling whilst I talk you through my journaling practice. And yeah, I would like to hear your thoughts on this topic as well in the comments, and if you enjoy this style of journaling, then you should definitely subscribe. But for now, let's get into the journaling. So let me just quickly tell you what spread I'm making before I talk you through my practice. I'm making a winter to be read that I can keep adding to and referring back to if there's a book I see I want to read. So when I first started journaling in 2023, it took me 9 months to fill one of these journal inserts. At this time, I was doing written, reflective journaling and travel memory keeping journaling, but I wasn't as open with what I could put inside. I still would be a little bit worried what I could include, but it's safe to say as soon as I moved on to the next journal insert, I felt a lot more confident in my style and decided at this point anything could go inside it with no limitations or rules. So now on average it takes me about 2 months to fill one of these up. So that's quite a jump, just because I allowed myself that creative freedom, which then led to me feeling more inspired to journal more often. The journal that I use is similar to a traveler's notebook, but is a lot cheaper. I have one cover that I reuse every time, and it came with a kit to clean it, so I can make it look brand new if I want to. Then I just keep buying new inserts when I run out. I love the size of them, they're not too big or overwhelming. I personally usually do a double page spread, as it's still not too much space to fill up. The paper is fountain pen friendly, and I haven't found anything that leaks through as of yet, and I've tried most things in this journal. I just haven't tested out gouache, so I tend to do that on watercolour paper and then stick it in after. When I first started, I decided that all the spreads would be in a chronological order, but I was kind of holding back on journaling about events because I hadn't journaled about the event that came before that. So I ended up scrapping that and now just add the date at the top of the spread. Then I know when that day or event happened, but it doesn't prevent me from wanting to journal. With my reading spreads, I don't always date them either, so it's not consistent in that sense. There's no certain thing that I have to do. It just naturally follows in a somewhat chronological order. I love the idea that I'll have lots of these journals documenting my life and everything I've observed or experienced. These journals are definitely one of my most precious items, and where possible, I like to make my spreads reflect the season or time of year, or the event or thing I'm journaling about. But that's just a personal preference for me, and I don't always stick to it. It's just if I have the stationery to do so, then I will. So let's talk about the decoration, as a commonplace journal is traditionally less decorated and more of a focus on the information inside. Well, for me, I feel like on all my spreads, I do a lot of writing, so I do tend to write nearly a double page spread on each of my entries. I just also add decoration to it as well. For me, the reason behind that is I just love the process of sitting down and creating that alongside my writings. I have always struggled with anxiety, and just sitting and sticking things in my journal is extremely therapeutic to me. So that is the main reason mine is very decorated, because I enjoy doing it and it relaxes me. So I don't have to decorate every spread, and there are ones in my journal that I'll focus more on just the writing. It's just a preference for me. I don't think having decoration or not having it makes the journal less valuable to the person whom it belongs to. It is honestly just what you enjoy. If sitting down and writing with no decoration brings you more joy, then that's definitely what you should do. Some people have mini commonplace journals that they take on the go with them to jot down ideas or writings, then transfer them to their main journal later. I don't have any other journal, so there's nowhere else for me to put my thoughts. It all just goes in here straight away. I organize my thoughts, as in my plans and to-do lists, in my traveler's notebook planner, but that is mainly for staying on top of my Patreon and not missing appointments. So I will be doing a whole video on that to show my more planning side, but to me that's something like completely different to all the things that I do in this journal. I think the best way for you to find your journaling style or how you want your journal to function is to ask yourself and reflect on these questions. What do you want your journal's purpose to be? Is it to record or document your life? Is it a place to jot down thoughts and feelings, or is it a space to create art? These things or decisions don't have to be cemented either. My journaling style changed over the past year and how I use my journal. Your journal should just be a place to have the freedom to be whatever you need it to be at whatever point in your life. Keeping your options open will inspire you more and ensure you continue your journaling practice, and therefore won't be a journal you give up or forget about. I know I have many half-started journals or notebooks around the house from quite a few years ago, so I have definitely done this many a time before, and I hope this video has kind of helped you to understand what your journaling style is or what you want from a journal or how to start one. So even if this isn't the style that you want to have, then I hope it kind of helped you to think about and reflect on what you want your journal to be and how you can begin your journaling journey. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I really want my videos here on YouTube to kind of just inspire as many people as possible to start journaling, because for me, I just absolutely love it, and it's honestly like changed my life so much because it just makes me feel like so relaxed when I do it, and I'm a very sentimental person, so it's just kind of like a hobby that is perfect for me, really. I would definitely recommend starting a journal, and if you have enjoyed, then let me know in the comments. Make sure to like the video and don't forget to subscribe. So enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.